Greetings and welcome to your Oracle message for the day. I am Kat Morgan and I welcome you to this video, to this channel, and to this space. This is a timeless reading for the collective, so whenever you come across this video, however you come across it, it's the right time for you to be getting this message. And we've been pulling one card randomly every morning from the MEGADECK. If you're new here to the channel, please feel welcome in this space. Information on the MEGADECK is down in the description below. You can look down there for more information on that. But we have been pulling one card randomly every morning, and today's card is pulled from the Enchanted Map Oracle deck by Colette Baron-Reid, and it's card number 20, Flying. And before we go in the book, I have not looked at the book yet to see what the reading says for us for the book version. I always try to get as much information, messages, transmissions that are coming to us directly from the card, from the image on the card, from the image in front of us. I am looking at the same thing that you are. I have the card in my hand, but we're both looking at the exact same thing. So we start out with the number 20. We know that reduces down to a 2. 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 are portal cards. You can think of them like walking through a doorway, which got a column or, each side has a column sticking up, upright, right? And then you've got the lintel above. But portals are, we don't really think about it, but every time you're walking into a new room, or walking out of a place into the outside, walking into a place from outside, or actually going through portals. They've scientifically determined that, you know how sometimes you forget something, you were getting up to go get some water. And somehow in the process of the living room to the kitchen, you have forgotten completely that you were getting a glass of water. You walked into the kitchen and you're just like, why am I here? What? I was doing something. What was I doing? And eventually you figure it out, but it takes a little bit. Your brain is like a computer, and we know that anyways. It's the best parallel expression that we can think of to find a, picture of what your brain looks like as opposed to something else. But we know that the brain acts like a computer, and it resets every time you walk through a doorway. If you did not know that before, yeah, welcome to that information. I remember the first time I heard that, I'm like, what? But it's true. It's true. So now you have a reason. Now you know why you completely lost your mind when you walked into a new room. So be that as it may, we know that 2s are portal cards. They are asking us, inviting us, encouraging us, and sometimes informing us, educating us that it's time. It's time to leave the old reality of whatever and step into a new reality. And what have we got here for our images? A carousel horse, Pegasus, right, with the wings. We know that. And he is flying, and this energy is flying. So this is release. This is independence. This is freedom. What did he just leave? And I'm calling him a he. Could very easily be a girl horse. But where did they just leave? Looks like a maze to me. It looks like a labyrinth, like one of those places where you just go around and around and around in circles. You know you're moving, but you don't seem to be going anywhere, getting anywhere. Nothing's changing. Everything looks the same. It's all that same hedge, shrubbery. It's a shrubbery for my Monty Python friends. Those are hedges, boxwood probably, I would guess, but that they don't look a whole lot of different from one section to another. And it doesn't look like much different. If you are sitting down there in the middle of it, you cannot see anything else. There is nothing else to see. You've got to get out of that maze. And I feel very strongly that that is exactly what we will find when we go into the book. That would not surprise me at all. But how did this horse become winged? Because I don't think those wings came with the carousel horse. I think they came with the magic. Off to the left there, that's a fairy. That's a fairy, like Tinkerbell sprinkling the magic dust to allow the horse to be free. Who is Tinkerbell for us? That is our imagination, our sense of wonder and magic, that inner child that has never lost the belief, the absolute foundational knowledge that you are magical. We are all magical. There are none of us that are just mundane little mud creatures, walking around on this little bit of dirt, spinning through space. That none of us are called for that life. We are all called to magic. We are all called to play, to enjoy, to have fun. And there's something going on interesting with the stars up in the sky. Very, very cool with that. But yes, getting out of the maze. If things, we've been getting a lot of this in readings lately about feeling stuck, about the grind, about remembering balance, ebb and flow, harmony. If you've been working too hard, you've been kind of nose to the grindstone, there are times where that is what you want to be doing, where you're just kind of going around in the maze. You're looking for how to communicate with Tinkerbell, right? To get your magic dust and get the heck out of there. That's the messages that I'm getting from the card. Let's take a look in the book and find out what it says for us today. Yes, and how much your perspective changes, right? As soon as you get out of that little trap. And who put us there in the maze? We walked in there voluntarily. Whether you realize it or not, what you were thinking, saying, doing, and actually feeling at some point in the past has brought you to where you are right now. You have the power to see things from a higher perspective. If you were a bird flying high in the air, what would you see? When you soar above life's challenges and opportunities, a new perspective becomes available. Today, you have invisible wings that allow you to swiftly bring your circumstances into alignment with your highest purpose. This is a sign that your waiting is over, that all your hard work has paid off and the things you hoped for are no longer beyond your grasp, beyond your scope, beyond your reach. You have the ability to reach for the stars and find one with your name on it. Spread your wings and soar. The angels are waiting for you. Oh my gosh, how awesome is that? How awesome is that? Spread your wings and soar, honey. You were never meant to be plodding along, looking at the ground. Yes, we have to watch where we're putting our feet. We don't want to step in a hole. We don't want to trip over a rock. We do want to be watching where we're going. But again, you need that balance. For as much time as you spend looking down, you should be looking up. For as much time as you spend going around in circles, you need to be spiraling out of that, literally. And you have your own wings. You have your own magic. As I said at the very beginning, it is your inner child who has never stopped believing in you, who has never stopped knowing what you have been put on this planet to do, your true purpose, your mission, and we talk about that all the time. There's a part of it that involves simply just being our best persons, being available for people and situations to bring more love and light into them. But honestly, is there something that you were always curious about as a child that you never did explore? Your parents, for me, was art. I was all about, I was drawing everything. I was drawing stairways and walls with pictures on them with the stairways going up behind them. And I was fascinated by the movement of architecture. And my parents looked at me and said, "What are you doing? Don't you have homework to do? Isn't it time to be practicing on the piano?" They were very, very strong about me going into Juilliard. And by the time I was a teenager, I realized that was not my calling, and I left that path, and it didn't work out well in terms of my relationship with my parents. But at an early age, I realized, and so did you. You've known all along. So what is that thing that you were interested in, curious about, fascinated by? What is that thing that you've always wondered? What would happen if yeah, well, maybe it's time for you to be looking at that, examining it. Just be curious. Just wonder, explore, consider the possibility. You're not required to make a commitment to any firm course of action that's different from what you're doing now, but if you feel like you're running around in circles, maybe it's time to get off the hamster wheel and start thinking for yourself and start living for yourself. And that's not selfish. If you're not taking care of yourself, there's no you that's going to be available to take care of anybody else. So reconnect with that inner child, reconnect with that magic that has always been a part of you, not apart from you, a part of you. It's your intrinsic being. It is your actual quantum consciousness that looks like magic from where we stand in a 3D reality, because we cannot, in our 3D experience, physical vessels, wrap that physical mentality around what is not physical. We cannot. It is not just difficult, it's downright impossible. The only way you are going to be able to make that connection and get yourself out of that maze, get yourself out of that labyrinth, that circle, ongoing circle, over and over and over cycles. If you're ready to move out, just, again, we do this all the time in these readings, but stop, close your eyes, take a deep breath, drop your shoulders, relax your chin, relax your neck, relax your arms, relax your back, relax your legs. Okay, from this place, pay attention to your right big toe. How's it feeling? Have you told it thank you lately for being there? Do you know what would happen? You would be finding it very difficult to walk without that big toe. Surprisingly enough, it adds a tremendous amount of balance to your gait, to your stance, those big toes. So if you haven't told your right big toe and your left big toe, don't want to leave the left one out. If you haven't told them thank you lately for all of their help, unwavering, uncomplaining for the most part, unless you stub them, in which case they'll let you know that. But what is it in your world now that you are in this space where you have stopped? You've stopped thinking about all of the trouble that you've been working through and see no end to. And now you have the option of, oh, well, I've always wondered about photography. I've always wondered about playing the flute. It doesn't matter what it is, darling, whatever it is. This is your opportunity. Make some space for it. 5 minutes a day. Seriously, just 5 minutes a day. Just consider doing some research online while you're munching on your lunch or whatever. Just get curious. Go to your favorite search engine, whatever it is, and just type in a query and just see. Okay, maybe it's time to looking at new employment opportunities. We've talked a lot about that too as well. There is no limit to the opportunities that are available to you. Always, always. So reconnect with that magic, or reconnect with that inner child that has always known. This is the time. You were made to fly. You were not made to crawl. You were made with wings, invisible as they may be. So it's time for you to soar. So that's our reading for the day. I do hope that it resonated and blessed you. Feel free to leave any comments if you want to do that. If you haven't already liked and or subscribed and you find any value in this video or this channel, I encourage you to do that. I don't get any money from these videos. This will never be a monetized channel. But it helps the YouTube algorithm help other people find these videos and find the channel if they're looking for similar kinds of content. So I appreciate you guys doing that, and everybody else appreciates you doing it as well. Alrighty. Well, take this reading into the day today, into the next few days. Remember, you are always the person that is creating your reality. If you want to fly, if you want to get out of the maze, that option is available to you. Those opportunities are out there. As soon as you ask the question, is there something else I could be doing? Not even should, okay? Don't even go there. Is there something else I could be doing? Is there something else I might do instead? Is there some other way I might feel about something, about someone, about whatever? Okay? You don't have any limits. So if there's anything that feels like it's just been this ongoing maze going around and around and around, this is your card. This is your reading. This is your confirmation that it's okay to expand. It's okay to change your definition of who you are. And if the people around you that are part of your world don't understand what you're doing, okay. You're not required to explain yourself to them. You're not required to make them understand, to somehow provide the information that they need to comprehend you. If they don't get you, that's okay. Love them anyways. People that do get you are gonna find you as soon as you get out of that maze and start flying with your invisible wings. Alrighty, I love you. Have the most amazing, fantastic day. You are a flyer, baby. Soar. Namaste and ciao for now.